Welcome back to my channel Mzansi Screen Time, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share, because Mjolo in the Big Brother house is already showing us flames, and honestly, I'm not even surprised. Now let's talk about what's been happening, because at this point, we really need to ask ourselves, should we say Mjolo ungubani or Kusase? Because these connections, they are already under serious pressure. Let's start with Thandeka and Mmeli, because that clash, that was uncomfortable to watch. You could tell from the start that Thandeka was not okay with how Mmeli spoke to her earlier, and honestly, she had every right to address it. The way someone speaks to you matters, especially in a house where emotions are already high and everyone is sensitive. What bothered me the most is that the conversation didn't go anywhere. There was no real resolution. Thandeka expressed how she felt, but instead of truly listening and taking accountability, Mmeli seemed more focused on defending himself. And when that happens, the conversation becomes about ego, not understanding. You could literally feel the disconnect. They were talking, but not communicating. And that's dangerous in any relationship, especially one that's still so new. Thandeka wanted acknowledgement. She wanted to feel heard, but what she got instead was resistance. And when someone feels dismissed early on, it plants a seed of doubt. You start asking yourself, if this is happening now, what will happen later? That unresolved tension is a big red flag, because once an issue is left hanging, it doesn't disappear, it waits. And in Big Brother house, it always comes back louder. Now let's move to Buhle and Tumi the Barber, because this one hurt a bit. Buhle is clearly not impressed with how Tumi handles things, and honestly, I get where she's coming from. She's very clear about her expectations. She doesn't like confusion, she doesn't like feeling uncertain, and right now, that's exactly how Tumi is making her feel. What stood out for me is that Buhle isn't asking for too much. She's asking for emotional maturity, consistency, and reassurance. But instead of stepping out, Tumi seems to be fumbling the bag. You can tell Buhle is disappointed. Not angry, but disappointed. And disappointment hits harder than anger, because it means expectations were there, feelings were involved, and now she's starting to question whether this connection is even worth it. Tumi, on the other hand, looks overwhelmed. It's like he wants to keep things light and easy, but Buhle is already operating on a deeper emotional level. And that mismatch, that's where problems start. It feels like Tumi is underestimating how serious Buhle is about protecting her heart. She already warned him, she already set boundaries, and now she's watching his actions to see if they match his words. And right now, they're not matching. This is where the big question comes in. Are these connections even built to last? Because both situations, Thandeka and Mmeli, Buhle and Tumi, show the same problem: communication breakdown. People are talking, but no one is really hearing each other. And what makes it worse is that this is happening so early in the game. Usually these kinds of issues come later, once feelings are deep. But here, we're already seeing cracks. That's why people are asking Kusase, because if things are already this tense now, what's going to happen when nominations, evictions, and pressure really kick in? Big Brother relationships are not for the weak. You're dealing with your emotions, someone else's emotions, and the pressure of being watched by millions. If your foundation is shaky, it won't survive. Another thing I noticed is how pride is playing a role. In both situations, there's a bit of ego getting in the way. Instead of saying, I hear you, I'm sorry, let's fix this, it turns into defensiveness, and defensiveness kills connection. What makes this even sadder is that these connections had potential. You could see the chemistry, you could see the interest, but potential means nothing without effort. At this point, it feels like some of these housemates want the idea of a connection, but not the responsibility that comes with it. And let's be honest, Biggie is watching. He loves moments like this. Emotional tension, unresolved issues, fragile relationships. That's when things get messy, and that's when the house really starts to shake. So the real question is, lama connection azolastamara? Or are we about to see more flames, more clashes, and more heartbreak? Because if these issues don't get resolved properly, they're only going to get worse. And in Big Brother house, there's no running away from your problems. You face them every single day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was Thandeka right to confront Mmeli? Is Tumi mishandling Buthebi's feelings? And do you think these connections still have a chance? Or should we already say, Mjolo ungubani na? Because one thing is clear, BBM Mzansi Season 6 is not playing, and these connections are already being tested. Bazoza.